please subscribe and don't forget to press the bell icon to get notified whenever we upload a new video.
Good afternoon. Welcome to Halftime Report. 12 noon, halfway through the trading session and doing pretty well for our markets. So the Nifty is finally broken out of that 2-month range, trading above that 10,900 mark. The Sensex has reclaimed 36,000 and there is participation from the broader markets. The advanced decline ratio is quite healthy. We've got nearly 1,500 stocks on the advancing side for less than 500 stocks which are currently in the red. Let's get the advanced decline ratio up for you on your screen. Hi, Nigel.
Well, Rima, things are looking good. Remember, in yesterday's trading session, we saw a lot of aggressive positions being taken in the derivatives market. So the FIs, they added massive longs, they bought calls, and they wrote puts. So that told you we're likely for some follow-through. And today, they're getting that follow-through. Now, we need to keep an eye out on whether or not those calls that were bought, whether they start getting unbound, those puts that were written, do they start getting unbound? And in fact, the long positions, do they come down? So today is extremely crucial. And from now on, in fact, till the end of today's trading session, we need to track the markets very, very closely. And at the end of the day, we'll see what exactly did the FIs do, particularly in the derivatives market, because yesterday they were very, very aggressive over there. They sold 500 crores in the cash market. That's right. But in the derivatives market, they were extremely aggressive. So let's see whether or not they add on to those positions. For the time being, we're at the high point of the day. Reliance Industries, that's the one that's really batting for the bulls at around 1,020. That's holding one end up. If that can get to the 52-week high of around 1,035 odd, then in fact we'll have another 10 to around 15 points even from here. So keep an eye out on that stock. But we'll talk more about stocks. First up, running you all the top stories. To our first management, we have Astral Polytech. That's in focus after the company acquired Rex Poly Extrusion for around 148 crore rupees for 100% equity value. To discuss that and more, we're joined by Mr. Savlani, the CFO of the company. Hi, Mr. Savlani. Thanks so much, sir, for joining in. Well, most brokerages, they say they have paid a price, but they believe that it's providing you a good opportunity. If you could tell us, what are your plans with regard to this acquisition? At last count, this company was doing around 170 crores. How do you see it scaling up?
Yeah, this basically, if you see the double wall corrugated pipe is the next future for the country. If you study the US, this pipe is being used across the country in the infrastructure project. But in India, still we are stuck to the traditional pipe of ductile iron or maybe a cement pipes in all the infrastructure project. So this will be the future for this country. And now most of the government have already started prescribing this pipes for the projects across the country, and a lot of government's approval this company has already received. Right. So we are seeing this will be a very good future for Astral to enter into this. So,
market. Mr. Savlani, can you put some numbers? This company as it is has grown from around 110 crores to around 170 crores. You must be having plans, right? You're saying that the scope is quite large.
Yeah, I think this is another 1,000 crore opportunity for Astral. Timeline it will be very difficult to quantify at this stage, but what we are saying that this can be another 1,000 crore opportunity for Astral.
Mr. Savlani, can you just explain a little more detail how this can be a 1,000 crore opportunity for the company?
Yeah, basically you see that this company is growing at a very fast rate. Now with joining hands with Astral which is having a very big strength of the brand and the network, we are quite confident that this pipe will be now available across the country. And in this product, particularly the logistics play a very important role. Now, this company has a two plants. One is in UP, Sitarganj, and another is in Sangli, Maharashtra. Now, Astral has already done the announcement in last analyst meet that Astral is already entering into this product. And we have already ordered the 3 new machines for this, which we are going to put up one in Gujarat, one in Rajasthan, and one in Hosur in South. So you see at 5 different locations, these pipes will be now available. So we will be taking the highest advantage of the logistic, and we will be most competitive player in the market than anybody.
So you will expand the distribution reach of Rex's products. So you're saying from 170 crore of revenues recorded by this acquired company, it can go up to 1,000 crores. By when? What's the timeline?
It will take time. It's too difficult to quantify the time. It may take sizable time, but this is the what opportunity we are seeing. Okay. It may take 6-7 years. It's very difficult to say the exact timeline, but that is what the opportunity we are seeing.
But Mr. Savlani, you can tell us what is the asset turnover here? How much money you will have to pump in to get that kind of turnover.
Yeah, if you see the gross block level, the asset turn is 4.5 times for this product.
4.5 times. Okay.
Yeah, net block level it is 6 times. So it is a very decent asset turn.
Absolutely. So you'll require to put in maximum 100, 150 to 200 crores more to get this 1,000 crores that you're talking about in the next 6, 7, 8 years. You can't give the time frame.
Yeah, because this company will generate a lot of cash.
Super.
So
All right.
I don't see any problem. Even Astral doesn't have any problem of the putting money into the business for the growth. So
okay.
We are quite confident about that.
Okay, what is the debt of Rex, and what would it take the debt on your company's balance sheet? How are you planning to fund at least 51%, which is going to be paid by cash?
Yeah, so basically we have arrived the valuation of enterprise value around 190 crores, 147 we have paid, and close to about 43 crore debt of Rex we are going to take on Astral balance sheet. So, and I don't think, because 50% we have paid by way of exchange of shares at the price of 1,000 rupees a share. So hardly any dilution will be there, and we have taken hardly any debt, because Astral is also going to generate a lot of cash flow in this year.
Okay, all right. So the acquisition as per you is positive. It's a step in the right direction. It's got good scope going ahead. Let's talk about the other part of your business then, your CPVC pipes. I think you had an expansion that you took on in Rajasthan, and that just got commissioned. So how is that shaping up? What's the total capacity, the capacity utilization levels?
So Rajasthan has already started. The capacity of that plant is around 22,700 metric ton. And that plant is just started, so I think we have to wait for some more time to the capacity utilization to take place. And a lot of still approvals are going on. So maybe 1 quarter or down the line, the plant will start picking up the capacity.
Okay. We've seen higher crude oil prices. How is it impacting y'all? Will there be margin pressure? How does it impact the company?
So basically, if you see in the first quarter itself, CPVC price we have passed on close to about 7% price rise in the market. So even if the prices are going up, so we are able to pass on to the market. So I don't see any problem into the margin side.
Okay, Mr. Savlani, I missed your total capacity. What has it gone to? And I believe you're adding another capacity, right, in your CPVC business?
Yeah, capacity addition is a continuous process. So we keep adding that capacity.
What is the capacity currently?
Right now it is around 150,000 metric ton capacity. With this Rajasthan, it will be somewhere around 172 or so.
And then you're adding a plant in Tamil Nadu as well, right? So you go to 100.
Yeah, there also we are targeting to put another 20,000.
When does that come on stream? By the end of this year or FY20?
Yeah, by the end of this quarter we are targeting. So Q2 end we are targeting.
And what is the capacity utilization currently?
Currently, if you see the last year, it was around 72% kind of level.
And it's likely to go to?
This new addition, first year it will be low, then the second year onward, again it will be around 70-75%.
Okay, all right. Final question, sir. In terms of your additives business, I remember you telling us that you see a scope over there. You'll be, going against bigger players as well in the market. How is that shaping up?
No, so adhesive is playing very well. In fact, last week only we have signed the celebrity of Varun Dhawan for doing the adhesive branding for Astral. So I think shortly you'll see a lot of branding activities going to take place in adhesive, and our expectation from the adhesive business is also very high.
Right.
So
how much is it contributing, sir, to your total revenues as of now?
Right now it is contributing around 27% of our revenue.
27%, and you're saying that you have signed, stars like Varun Dhawan. So will the margins get a little compressed, or you believe, profitability will be maintained, and in fact sales will go up because you're signing bigger stars?
Because the sales will go up, so ultimately it is going to compensate you the aid cost. So I don't see it's going to affect much to the margin. Even if the margin will drop by 1 or 2%.
Last year, what was the revenue number, sir? Last year it was around 500 crores?
Yeah, it is to contributed around 533
And this year you're expecting it to grow by how much?
At least 20% we are expecting.
20%, so at least 600 crores.
And your final revenue and margin expectations for FY19?
Markets, we're picking up steam. We're just building onto those gains, so it's good going out there. But let's talk about the broader markets. And Navbharat Ventures, that's one stock that's on our radar. Remember, the stock has been buzzing of late, though it's seen a sharp correction from the recent peak that we saw in January. It was at around 180 rupees. To discuss that and more, we have Mr. Prasad, the Executive Director of the company, who joins us on the phone line. Thanks so much for joining in, Mr. Prasad. Want to focus directly on your Zambian project. If you could give us a sense of what are the PLF levels out there. Is it functioning at around 100%? And, the street works with around $15 million on a quarterly basis of profitability coming in from Zambia. Is that correct? Can we work with that kind of a number?
Yeah, good afternoon. Yes, Zambia project has 2 units of 150 megawatt each, and it has a PPA with the local utility based on availability. So the units have been maintaining the last quarter and also.
Okay.
So the profit number that you are talking about is an expected number, 15 million per quarter. So we see no reason for that profit not being.
What is the utilization that you're operating for your Zambian power plant?
You see, utilization is depending on actual drawal by the utility. Since it is a take or pay kind of a PPA, availability is the more determinant factor.
Okay, all right. And so if I go by that 15 million per quarter to $60 million of net profit coming in from the Zambian operations, it's not unthinkable, it's achievable.
It is achievable, and we hold 65% stake there.
You hold how much of that?
65%.
65. So 65% of the 60 million will be in the books of Nav Bharat Ventures, correct? From the Zambian project. All right.
What is the debt on your Zambian unit?
The debt which got started at 590 million now stands at 500 million. 90 million stands repaid.
Okay. And what is the plan with respect to future repayment?
Actually, about 60 million gets repaid every year.
Okay. Okay. All right. Any possibility, sir, of you selling some part of this asset? I mean, selling maybe a percentage. You have 65% in this asset. Is there a possibility you'll divest some stake? Have you been approached?
We have been approached, of course.
Okay.
That no decision has been taken, but I don't have anything.
You have been approached to buy out what, the full 65%, or someone wants to buy only 5-10%?
Various proposals. It's like, the power there is very important, and a dependable power source is very, very sought after.
So help us out with these numbers, sir. If I just extrapolate these numbers, the unit should do more than 400 crores of net profit. You have 65% in that. So in terms of a valuation, how would you value the project? Because you will be the best analyst. You're running the business. So if you could help us out with those numbers, sir.
I'm not competent to talk about valuation, but you are seeing what can be achieved there. It's a sustainable business, and we see, those numbers unfolding.
But you're telling us for sure that someone has approached her to buy at least part stake in this operations, correct, sir?
There were approaches, yes, but we are not decided yet. Yes.
Okay, but will you contemplate selling stake?
I'm probably not in a position to comment on that.
All right. So you said your quarterly run rate right now is about $15 million at the EBITDA level. Is there scope to improve it?
I'm not talking about EBITDA level. This is
at the profit level.
Before tax.
Right. So at the profit level, it's 15 million on a quarterly run rate. Is there scope to improve it?
Not much, because we run based on availability.
Okay.
A small incentive is definitely there, but I think 15 million is more a realistic number.
Okay, and what about the entire company, sir? On the whole, what's the consolidated debt in your books? And are there any plans of divesting any assets? Maybe the 60 megawatt power plant that we have, maybe the sugar business. Is there any possibility there?
No, we have certain assets where we feel the returns are negative.
Okay. Could you name those assets for us, sir?
Second 60 megawatt unit in Odisha is one of them.
Okay.
Then we also have a 20 megawatt unit in Andhra Pradesh with attendant land there too, large tract of land. Okay. So that also is up for monetization.
Okay. And sugar business?
Sugar business, of course, it ran through some trouble. So we are seeing how to, address that. Okay. No decision has been taken yet. But yes, that also offers an opportunity for.
So right now, on top of your list to divest is the Orissa power plant, the second unit of 60 megawatts, as well as the 20 megawatt power plant in Andhra Pradesh, which has land attached to it. Could you conclude this sale in FY19?
Difficult to put a timeline. We have definitely started work in those, areas.
Okay. So what stage has the work reached, sir?
Sorry?
What stage have you, in terms of the process of divesting, what stage have you reached?
No, we have, had consultations with the interested parties, and, that is at that stage.
Okay.
So various options exist,
Okay.
even for the Orissa unit also.
Okay. All right. So, Mr. Prasad, if we get these numbers down, you're looking to sell these 3 assets. I mean, you could look out for buyers. But what is the total debt in the books? You told us about Zambia. But what about on the consolidated books? And if you sell these, then what could be your possible realizations that you think you can get from these businesses?
I will talk about the debt. That's between Navbharat Ventures and our immediate subsidiary here, which is a 150 megawatt unit. We have debt about 400 crores.
Okay.
That's the total debt as far as Indian operations is concerned.
Okay. So, India standalone 400 crores, right?
It's standalone and, with one of our subsidiary here, 150 megawatt.
And to that, we'll add the Zambian debt of $500 million.
That's right.
All right. Mr. Prasad, just a quick question out to you. The stock price has seen a sharp correction from the top. Why is that? I mean, do you have some funds that are holding who are looking to sell, or any kind of communication to you all? Promoters are holding, right? There's no change in that, because the stock has fallen from around 180 rupees to around 130 rupees. And as you tell us, the business prospects are looking good. Just requesting our director to pull up the chart for year to date. You'll see the stock has come out. So any kind of communication from some of your investors that they're selling out, or is it just in line with what's going on in the market?
I think market to some extent, but more importantly, I think people want to see how the Zambian operations to, sustain.
Okay.
That's only the information we have. But it looks like they will. We will be vindicated shortly.
Okay, all right.
So on your, just one final question, on your power business, you had undertaken a capital overhaul, right? What will be the impact on your financials on account of that in, say, Q1 and Q2?
This is for the subsidiary, 150 megawatt subsidiary. Normally, this is done once in 5 years, like after 25,000 hours of running. So that the 150 megawatt subsidiary has a merchant power plant of 150 megawatt. To that extent, revenues could come down for between Q1 and Q2.
Okay.
But I don't think it would have a major effect,
Okay.
because on the consolidated side, we are still better protected.
Okay. All right. Pleasure talking to you, Mr. Prasad. Thanks so much for stopping by. All the best for the remainder of this
Actually,
fiscal.
let's pull up the intraday chart of Navbharat Ventures, because there has been a spike post the management comments. One, on stability of the Zambian units, and secondly, perhaps on their plans of divestment, some of their assets which are not giving them negative return right now. So I guess it's a combination of these two factors which has gotten the street excited now at the high point of 4.5% rally. 2.5% got added just in the last 10 minutes.
Absolutely. All right. Then keep an eye out on the markets as well. The Nifty has come off a tad bit. We're still holding with a gain of around 70 points. But Sun Pharma, suddenly that stock has come off the high point of the day. So keep an eye out on that one. And even India Bulls Housing Finance, both those two stocks, not very large weights on the index, but both of them in an otherwise strong